Hey, hello everyone. You're welcome, and you're welcome in Bookshelf Babble live session. Here we talk about books with people around the world, and its main topic is book, and I'm your host Yohani. You're welcome, and let's go to talk. As a regular, we go to Hello Talk application. If you're not familiar with this platform, it's a platform where people around the world learn languages. I like it because it's very simple to find the people who are interested in books. Okay, and as a regular, we go to voice room and start the voice room which had name "What book are you reading?" Okay, we start, and just as regular, I want to tell for everyone, if you watch this session in any platform on Twitch or YouTube, feel free to write the comments, write your questions. I will read the comments in chat, and we can make our communication like this. Or if you use the Hello Talk application, you can find my voice room, join, and we will talk with you. Okay, and some small moments. Okay, and one additional moment, I just need to notice I am streaming this session on YouTube. And if you want to watch this session in video format, you can just follow the link what I sent. Just a second. Okay, at this link. If you want to watch like a video version of our talk, feel free to follow this link and find. Or if you want to talk about books, just raise your hand, and I will add you to conversation here. Okay, let's go. Hey, hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
I'm also doing great.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and first question I like to ask, what book are you reading in current moment? Can you share?
Currently, I am preparing for my exam. That's why reading academic books.
Okay, and what is the subject of your exam?
I'm preparing for IELTS exam in the coming week I have. So that's why I'm reading IELTS academic books.
Okay, it's, in other words, it's later related for English, and it's one of the reasons why you're here. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We have one other guest to our voice room. Hello, how are you?
How's it going?
Yeah, nice. Thanks for joining. Can you share with us what book are you reading?
I'm reading the book. The title is No Longer Human.
Sorry, I cannot recognize. Can you write the name of the book here?
Okay.
Okay. Can you?
No Longer Human.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Can you tell some words about this book?
What?
Can you tell some words about this book and in your impression about it?
This book for a Japanese writer. His name is Osamu Dazai. I think if someone, it's very popular. Like he talk about his life and so on, and he typed it before he suicide.
Okay, but what is the main topic of this book?
He talked just about his life and misery, also about his how to say that he have, you can say that, sorry, I'm not good English, but he just fear people, social anxiety and so on. So he talked about this a lot, how his family and how his life affect this and make him in this way.
Okay, it sounds interesting. I found some information about this book, and I sent the author in the chat if someone want to find. Yeah.
Sound what?
It sounds interesting. Especially I like. Yeah, I like to Japanese author and his slight style.
Oh, really? What's your current book that you read?
Sorry?
What are the books that you're reading right now?
If you correctly understand, you ask me about about what I'm reading now. Yeah.
What are you reading?
Okay. Yes. Okay. I understand. You ask my question. Today I just start reading one. Not today. Yesterday I started the reading book. I didn't know how to correctly translate from Russian on English. But it's not about. No, fight. Sorry, I have the problem. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just some pop-up appears in my screen. I press some buttons, not read attention, and they just leave the voice room immediately. I don't know why it's happened. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe someone will be back in soon. I'm not sure, but sorry for this problem. Yeah, it was nice. At least was nice talk. A lot of people joined, but I pressed some buttons. I did now. Okay, you should be read next time. But I think it's maybe. Yeah. Sorry for all of this. Maybe it's happened because I not close my computer and all day will stay, and maybe the application has some kind of limitation how long you'll be active, and they show I will be terminated some minutes. I'm not sure. I just press one button and they close. Oh, sorry for this. Okay, maybe I just back for talk. For answering the question what sounds last, what I'm reading. And if it's about me, I'm just start read this book, Татьяна Замировская, but Свечи, Апокалипсиса. And another Russian. I'm not sure it has English version of this book. It's on the Russian. It's if you translate, possible to translation Candles of Apocalypse, something like this. And it's not about Apocalypse itself. It's just about some woman who work in candle shop of some very expensive candles in New York City, and she described her everyday life, and she described how people behave. There's some kind of small story around this, and yeah, it's some kind of short stories for each pages, but I found some very interesting. Yeah, I'm on the way to read this book in 2-3 days. Why it's so interesting? I try to find the information about this book. Okay, I found this information. Yeah, you can find this. It's the same what I showed before in the same editions. Yeah, it's has very high rating. I think I will write the comments when I complete this book, and it's really interesting. Yeah, I surprised because I tried to read the previous book of this author, and I not complete this book because I don't know why. Yeah, I not complete. Maybe I will be back to this book after this. Maybe I'm not sure. Okay, I checked some another editions. I'm not sure it's present in English version. Yeah, I just to both book on the Russian language present. It's all. Okay, and it's like to my reading status. Okay, maybe I keep and copy the name of the book and copy here. If you someone want to read, I'm reading this book now, but it's only on Russian language. It's not translated because it's some very new book. It was published in just like 1 year ago. Yeah. Okay, and one additional moment. Okay, and yeah. Okay, today we have some kind of, I don't know, some technical problems happens. I will broke some very interesting talk. Yeah. Okay, I will just be back to Hello Talk, and again, I'm just mentioned that I'm streaming this session. Okay, yeah, I duplicate again. Okay. Yeah, sorry for all these technical problems. Yeah, I pressed not correct button and my previous session is ended in Hello Talk. Yeah, I just again remind I'm reading this book. It's very interesting. Yeah, I was surprised. I was very skeptical to this book, but yeah, I found some very interesting, and I spent some many hours in first day of New Year just reading of this book. Okay, I just remind, if you watch this session in any platform, if you have questions, you can feel free write the comments and question in chat. I will read and answer these questions. And also, if you watch this later, feel free to write your feedback in comments too, because it's some very important to whom who stream the sessions. Okay, we just back to Hello Talk and wait some minutes, maybe someone again back to our talk. If you're not back, I have one additional topic of what I want to discuss. Maybe not discuss with another people, but maybe I will be discuss alone here. Yeah, just if you no one join to us. Okay. Hey, hello. Here we talk about books and related topics. And yeah, let's go to talk. Okay. Hey, hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
Good. So what is the latest book you are reading right now?
I'm reading the book that has names Candles of Apokalips.
What's it? Is it fictional book or maybe self-help book? What kind of book are you into?
Okay, I just typed just a second. But I'm reading this book on the Russian language because it's written on Russian and just on the Russian, and I translated it. It sounds as on the English Candles of Apokalips, but in reality, it's not about apocalypse. It's about like the ordinary life of the woman who sells the candles in shop in New York, and she just described the everyday life, how they communicate with customers, how customers behave, how they like to buy some kind of strange candles, and all the stories around this. It's some kind of like a diary of shop.
Usually Russian books are very long. Is it a long book?
I think so, because around like 500 pages in this book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's more simple read on Russian than in English, and these 500 pages.
So basically, this book is in Russian, and you are reading the translated version.
No, it's just on the Russian. Yeah, because my mother language Russian and Belarusian, I free read on Russian too.
Oh, okay. Because I'm also reading a Russian book, but it's translated in English.
Yeah, but it's originally written on Russian and don't have translation yet. It's just on the Russian.
Okay. So what's the Russian writer you would suggest to anyone who is into fictional books?
Okay, it's a very hard question, because a lot of like good Russian authors and writers, and they write them a lot of like interesting books, and a whole like Russian classic.
Yeah.
It's very
Classics.
good for reading. Yeah, I think it's classical book. If you want to read about something solid and about moral, philosophical, it's present.
Okay, that's good. You guys have a lot of variety. We do not have such kind of variety in my country. But yeah.
Yeah, in this case, I like to read some kind of like modern authors, because they write about like current, like to state about current people, and sometimes in just about like how we live now. And this is why I interested in read something more more new. Okay, in this case, because you mentioned you didn't in your country you didn't have a lot of like writers, I have some question in this case. Can you suggest like to one writer from your country would show how like people live in your country?
Okay, because a lot of writers in my country, they usually write about historic books, so I'm not into that kind of book. But basically, I said I am into fictional books. So there is a famous writer in Pakistan. Her name is Umera Ahmed. So she's quite popular, and she write about everyday life, like the stories of everyday life, what human is suffering and facing, and how much challenges a common people is facing. So that kind of stories she really write, and she's quite popular in young people. But most of as I said, most of the people who are writer, like most of the writer, they usually write about history, because we have a huge tragic history. So that kind of books are also there, but I'm not into it, so maybe I will not suggest anyone. So if you are into such kind of books, you can totally read, but they will not be, I think so, in translated version. They are more authentically in Urdu version, which is my native language. So it will be difficult for international audiences to read such books.
Yeah, I think it's one additional problem if you sometimes they don't have translation. I found the author what you mentioned, one of the books. This
Umera.
Is it correct?
Her name is Umera.
Is it correct, author? What I type in the chat.
Okay, let me type
it. Yeah, I found her books.
Umera Ahmed, Pir-e-Kamil, yeah.
Yeah, I found, but I not found like a translation of this book. Just
I don't think so. Her books are available in English, but that her quite popular book, Pir-e-Kamil. It has two versions. So first one is Pir-e-Kamil, and second one I just forgot second one. So it has slight different name.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's her very popular novel in Pakistan. So there is also another writer which is quite popular in Gen Zs. Her name is Nimra Ahmed. So they both are Ahmed, but they are not related, but they are quite popular in Gen Zs.
Okay, but I think I found the English version of this book.
Oh wow! I didn't know it has translated in English.
But I'm not sure if it exists, but I just find this information. I just type here, and the language mentioned like the English of this book.
Yeah, The Perfect Mentor. Yes.
Yeah, okay, I will add to my reading list for future reading, because I think it's one of the her popular book, because they has very high rating and a lot of like reviews.
Yeah. I think so. Everybody in Pakistan has already read this book.
Okay, and as well as one of the popular book in your country in current moment.
Popular book.
Okay.
I cannot say everyone like it, but it's kind of peer pressure. So it's like the famous book that you have to have read it. So some read it because they like it, and some read it because their friends suggest, and the chain goes on and on. And I think so everybody in my country has already read this book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, but do you know some information about author? She's living in your country, or maybe she living abroad?
No, right now I did not know about her, where she is living, but she, in her prime, she was very like famous. Her books converted into dramas, which were also very popular. I don't know where she's right now. I think so now she will be like quite old, and when I started it, she was like in her prime. That was the time when I know about her. Right now I didn't know where she is.
Okay. Yeah, because I think in country where often if you writer is so popular and he live in this country, he play like a very important like role as like a celebrity or in government, because it's so influence.
No, in my country, like the book writers are not that famous. The poets are famous. Everybody is who is in the poetry, they are quite famous. Singers are famous, but not the book writer, because they have some kind of low key profile. They do not like to be on the mainstream. So I must say the writers are not have such influence, but the poets, poets are everywhere on the mainstream media, on everywhere.
Okay, I see your point. Yeah, cool. Thanks for this suggestion. I will try to find the electronic version of this book and maybe read when I have free time to check. Because I like books what like related for some countries, and they show how people live in these countries. It's very good like to way to know something new about like to countries and more like than typical.
So her books have a lot of debates in like young people. Some like, as I said, everybody has already read it, but some have their own point of view. Some people think that whatever she writes, it makes sense, but other people think that the way she portray every character is like they're not human. She wanted them to be like this, but it cannot be possible. So there is two kind of like thinking about people, about her characters among people. So yeah, it's very controversial, I can say. So people really like to talk about this book.
Okay, it's one additional reason to read this. Okay, I have one additional question because it's like to. I remember you have some another like calendars and like in the Western Europe, but now we have like to 2nd January and just like to New Year start. Do you have some kind of tradition to plan how many books you want to read in next year, and maybe you plan what book you want to read?
Yeah, I planned quite book because I had my list in 2025 and some of the book I did not manage to read it, and I'll try to read in 2026. I think so. I'll read George Orwell maybe, and I was reading Sylvia Play book, but I did not complete it. I'll continue this book. Right now, I'm reading Crime and Punishment. I have to complete it first, then I'll move toward other books. So I think so. I'll manage to read maybe 12 or 11 books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of things to do. I think I'll not manage to read more than that.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I think it's some good number. If you count my to reading list, and last year I maybe read the same, around to 10 books.
Last year I was also planning to read like same number 11 to 12, but I managed to read only 7 book. That yeah, I was not like strict to my plan. So I think so in 2026 it's going to be happen.
Yeah. I think it's dependent on 2 factors: the time. You should have the free time, and it should be really the interesting book, because sometimes the book is some very boring and you cannot complete this. But sometimes
it happens with me all the time, because I sometimes my friends suggest me like you should read this book, it's good, it's top rated. So I was like, yeah, I should read it. But at some point in the middle of the book I lost interest, so then I usually like stop reading such books, which like I am not like such kind of person who have to complete the book if I do not have interest. If the book is very high rated, everyone is reading, but I lost interest somehow, I'm not going to complete this book. So I have a lot of book uncompleted, which my friends always say I am not doing good with these books, like it's not a good way to read books, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I see your point. I try to do the same before. I try to read the complete one book when I start to read, but yeah, if you're stuck with book, it's possible just to block another interesting book. And sometimes I try to read 2-3 books in the same time, just more attention for book what very interesting. And especially now when we have vacations, some day of vacation, I have more free time. I just spend hours for reading, and for reading interesting book what attract my attention, and it's very enjoyable when you just read and really enjoy the interesting book. And I'm very sad when I complete this book, because I think I'm not sure where I found the next interesting so interesting book. Yeah.
So my friends thought it is very important to complete the book and then put it on the shelf, so that you can say, I have read a lot of book. But I in past year I started a lot of books, not the 7. I think so I have tried to read more than 18 books, but I complete only 7 books. So my ratio is too low. So that's the thing I have to work on, like the selection. I dig up a lot. Like if a friend suggests me a book, I will see the reviews, I will see everything, and then I'll start to read it, because otherwise it's a waste of time if it's not according to my taste, what I am looking in the book. So I think I should have to scrutinize more to save my time and energy in 2026.
Yeah, I see a point. Just adds for my case in this topic, I try to read in 2 language on 3 languages, and 2 mother languages, on Belarusian and Russian, and also try to read on the English books. And when you read on the mother language book, it's reading happen in some very smooth and very simple and very quiet. And as well, you possibly read 100 pages, it's just for one evening. But when you try to do the same on the English book, it's some like more struggle, because you need to sometimes back to dictionary, check the translation, or just try to think more longer time to understand what is on this page talk. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's more slowly happen, more slowly, yeah, than on the when you read the book on the on mother language.
Yeah, because in like my language, my native language, the writers write more than 1,000 page books. So in English, it's not more than 400 and 500 pages, which is quite like small in comparison to my native language books. And even though the pages are too long, like 1,000 plus, maybe 1,500, but it's easy to read because it's in my native language. But in English, yeah, it's kind of burden to read more than 600 pages. And if somehow if I lost control, or I lost the interest in the middle of it, and I was like, oh, it's going to ruin my energy, and why I started this book, which is going to end up like this. So yeah, native language has their own advantages.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree with you. Okay, one person want to join to us to talk. Just hey, hello.
Hi, how are you all?
I'm
Good.
fine, thanks. Can you share with us what book are you reading in current moment?
Yeah.
Do you read some books in current moment? Maybe you complete some books some days or months ago. Can you share?
Actually, I have no idea about that.
Okay.
I'm just new. I'm not good at in English, but I'm just trying to learn it.
Okay. Are you from Bangladesh?
Yeah, I'm from Bangladesh.
Perfect. What's your name?
My name is Mohammad Nabeen.
Nabeen. Nabeen, how are
Yeah,
you?
I am great, and what about you?
Good. So Nabeen, we are talking about books. So
Yeah,
do you like to read books in your native language in Bangla or
yeah,
not?
also.
So
Yeah,
what
I
is the
also love.
famous book in your native language in Bengali language? I hope my accent is
If,
good.
if like maybe last I read the book name was হাজার বছর ধরে.
Hajar?
বছর ধরে.
Hajar Bochar Thore. So what it was
Yeah.
about?
It's about like history in
Oh,
Bangladesh culture.
perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's written by Zuhir Raihan. He was great poet in Bangladesh.
Poet. So I assume that poetry is also famous in your country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a writer in my country, poet in my country, who wrote a very beautiful poem about Bangladesh.
Oh,
So it was like, let me search so I pronounce it right. So he basically I think so he was from Bangladesh, and then after over partition he came to like Pakistan, but all his life he loved Bangladesh because he was basically from Bangladesh.
mm. What
Okay.
is new?
I have like one additional question to you guys. Can you describe like to reading culture in your country? How like to ordinary people like to read the book? They prefer to go bookshops to buy the book. Maybe they prefer to go in library to borrow the book. Yeah, how can you describe like to reading culture in your country?
I must say reading culture in Pakistan is not quite popular right now. We in our library students are stuck, but they are only reading their course book. So there in libraries there are more students, but basically their interest is not to read other than their course book. So you can find many older people, they really like to read books, and now the Gen Zs, they really like to read books, but not the millennials. I think so, they kind of hate it. I think so, they do not have time to have such kind of hobbies. So Gen Zs read books a lot in libraries, they like to purchase it. So we have like the Sunday bazaar where there are book festivals. So yeah, so I must say the people over 30, they do not like to read books in my country.
Okay, what about you, Nabin? How you can describe in Bangladesh reading culture?
Basically, Bengali people, they are not interested to reading books in library or purchase books, but who loves much our Bangladeshi culture or nature, they are trying to reading books. But all
Good.
our people, they are trying to read their academic book.
Okay.
In other words, it's most of the people more focused on they study and read like a textbook about some subject, not like to a regular like literature. Okay, if you talk about, for example, public transport, I don't know how it's popular in your countries, but for example, in our countries, when on the subway, most of the people use the phone, check the like to Facebook on someone, but every time it's one or two people sit with the paper books. Do you have this picture in your country when the people sit in bus, for example, with books and read?
No, I must say people no use the books, neither use their phones. They in public transport, they usually like to talk with other people. So if they are in public transport, they do not know other people, but they somehow have a common ground where they are starting conversation. So people, I don't think so they are using mobile phones on public transport, neither they are reading books, the paper books. They are talking with each other. So in groups or maybe with like one-on-one session. So yeah, people really like to talk, have their personal physical experience with each other. So yeah.
But if you like to ride alone in the public transport, do you start the talk with some strangers in the transport?
Yeah. People really like to do this.
Okay. It's for me. It's look not so very common. For example, because I'm from Belarus, but now I'm living in Sweden. But its situation is so very similar. When you sit in the tram, in the bus, every time sit alone, peers in the phone and not communicate with another like to people, and they even not expect you start talk with him because they don't know you. They don't need to talk with you, and even if you want to talk, I'm not sure it will be a good conversation because every person will be sure, okay, I want to be alone, I want to rest, I want silence. If you want to ask for some concrete, but not for some kind of small talk or chatting.
Oh.
It sounds very different.
People usually do not like to share their private information, but they share what's happening in the country, the politics, cricket. So cricket is a sport which is very famous in my country. People usually like to talk about it. They like to talk about politics, if anything new happen in the city, such kind of things. So people are very communicative. So you will not find anyone who is alone and have in their so the thing is, the trams working in my like city, they have very long routes, like 1 and 2 hour routes. So you cannot like sit alone or maybe on your phone. So you will be tired, I think so. So it's very good to talk with other people. So you do not have to share your private information because the other person is with you for only 1 hour. So yeah, you can have a small conversation about weather, about what's going on, about how was your day. So that kind of conversation is expected from everyone, and people really like to participate in such things.
Okay, I see. I understand. Now, if you see it in the book, it will be look very strange. It's like you don't want to communicate. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, thanks for sharing this. It's a very interesting fact. Okay.
Nobin is with us.
Yeah, Nubin just left us. I think it's very complicated to manage the talk for 3 or more person, because sometimes it's one of the person should be listening a very long time when another like to speak. Yeah, and very often people just leave.
Okay.
Okay, I think my time is left for today too, because I like to be here not so long, around like to 25-30 minutes. But it's thanks for a nice talk about like to reading culture in Pakistan. It's very nice and very nice. Thanks for suggestion. I will try to find this book.
Okay, perfect. It was nice meeting with you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks for your time and take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. It was nice talk. In the start we have some problems. We have the problems with translation when I like to how it's called leave the first like to conversation when two people join. But now after we have very nice talk with person from Pakistan about like reading culture, she suggests one interesting book I will add to my reading list. Now I will try to find the information about this book. Yeah, it has very high rating. It's very interesting to find this. Okay, I want to tell thank for your time watching this session. If you have some questions, feel free to write on the comment. Don't forget to put the like, write the subscribe, following on any platform where you want. Yep, and take care and see you next time here in Bookshelf Babble. Bye.